All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Weight Loss 4 podcast. It is Thursday, and we're ready to go. Today I want to share a quote by Michael Phelps. He said, I think goals should never be easy. They should force you to work, even if they are uncomfortable at the time. So, talking about goals today. I know I touched on it briefly yesterday, um, but I want to take a dive into what really setting goals should be like. Um, I'm sure a lot of you have heard the SMART framework for goals. You should make sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So really you need to you need to be able to track your progress. You need to know what you want to achieve. You have to have quantifiable metrics. And I feel like this gets hard with weight loss a little bit because we and I mean we look at that number on the scale, right? And that seems to be the only thing that matters to us. And I've mentioned before, I know that losing weight and looking at it that way is important because it is. But but that is such a hard thing to do, you know? Um, there are so many factors that go into losing weight. And to be honest, losing weight, it's just such an imprecise metric. Are you gaining muscle? Are you losing water weight? Are you losing fat? What everything is, that didn't make sense. Um, Losing weight is um, not precise enough to um, really constitute a goal. And so if you say, I want to lose 30 pounds you know, by February, I guess we're too close to say I want to lose 30 pounds by the new year. If you want to lose 30 pounds by February, I mean, that's an achievable goal. It has, it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant to what you want, and you've got a time frame. But that's kind of not the point of the weight loss for podcast. Really, we want to be healthy, and part of that is, losing fat, building muscle, and a way to quantify whether we are losing weight or we are becoming healthier. And losing fat is weight, obviously, but I don't know, I just don't necessarily like it as a goal. I'm more in the build healthy and correct lifestyle changes, and as you do so you will lose weight or you will become healthier. If that's what we're talking about. Now, I mean, but here's the thing. Losing weight is important because it is a measure of being healthy. It is, I don't know. I don't really know if I'm making sense here today. I know I'm not an expert, but I just feel like if that is your only goal, that is not quite as relevant, not quite as precise because I can, I don't know. I couldn't do it clearly, but like think of wrestlers and they suck weight or they do whatever it is that they do so that they could make weight. And then they gain it all back. And they do that every week. And, so that they can get down to their 103 or whatever the 112, I don't know what the weight classes are, but so that they can make weight for wrestling or whatever they're doing and then get back up. And that's, there are so many things you can do that don't necessarily equate to being healthy, I guess. But that's why you know, I want to focus on realistic goals, healthy goals, um, something with, that you can measure, that you can achieve, and and you have to decide what that's going to be for yourself. Is that, what truly matters to you? Maybe it is. Maybe it's just losing weight or having, a 32-inch waist instead of a 36 or whatever. But identifying that first, something other than an arbitrary number on a scale. I guess it's not that arbitrary, but you know what I mean. Um, Something like that is better or easier to identify with than losing weight because not all weight loss is the same. So this is random, and I am sure that if anyone in like a nutritionist or a health scientist or whoever listens to this, they'll be like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And I don't. This is strictly from an objective point of view. And it's stupid because I work at a weight loss clinic, but the goal of the weight loss is to really become a healthier individual. And I think that's part of shifting the mindset is we want to get down, we want to be in a healthier weight, we want to be at a healthier whoever um point in our life because of the benefits that come from that. And I guess that is, you know, it's just so imprecise in my mind, and maybe someone out there can enlighten me. And I'm working on getting in touch with, nutritionists, personal trainers, doctors, anyone that I can interview and talk to and build my own framework. But um, I just feel like um, just saying losing weight is not good enough for me, I guess. But then again, I've done the same thing in my life, and so I feel like a hypocrite even saying that. Um, but anyway, I digress. I went off on a huge tangent, and I think we go back to the point. Um, Setting smart, realistic goals. So something specific, something that is measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And I guess an example of that would be, I want to be able to uh, run a mile without stopping in 6 months. Maybe that is a horrible time frame and a horrible goal, but for someone like me who I don't do very much running, I don't have very good lungs right now. My gosh, I used to be 310 pounds. I never ran or did anything, But to say that's what I want to do, you can definitely set that as a goal. Um, or anything. But the key is you need to decide what truly matters to you. What is it that you really want? Do you want just to get down by summer? Do you want to look good in a bikini? I don't look good in a bikini, so that doesn't. I'm so stupid. Sorry, guys. But you know what I mean? So you need to reflect on what matters so that you can you can line your goals up with where you want to be. After that, um, you need to break them down into smaller steps, obviously. Saying I want to climb Mount Everest, and uh, the most exercise I've done in the last year was bringing our tree in, you know, like sometimes I carry groceries in, you know, make sure I get it all in one arm so I don't have to make two trips out of the car. Like, how do you get from nothing to there? You have to set small, achievable goals, break it down into easier, manageable chunks. And then you need to have a baseline and then how you're going to evaluate. You need it to be specific because if you're not specific, then like you don't know where you're going, you don't know how you're going to get there, you don't have a way to evaluate it, and then it just becomes an arbitrary feeling. Um, and then you need a reasonable deadline. To say I'm going to run a marathon, a 26-mile marathon or whatever that they do, like say I'm going to do that in January and it's mid-November and I can't even, you know, I can't run. I hate running. I hate doing it. I haven't exercised in, 2 months. Not a realistic time frame, but if you said, all right, by this time next year, you need to do that, or I want to do that, and then I set regular goals. I say, okay, if I'm going to be able to run a full marathon in a year, I need to start running now. I need to build up my lungs. I need to build up my legs. I need to, you can set goals and start and then you reassess in 3 months. I need to see where I'm at. I guess in 3 months, if you're saying, a full marathon is 26 point whatever miles, then you divide that by 12 and say, okay, that means I need to run, build up to 2 miles in the first month or whatever. I don't know. And so but then if here I am at 3 months and I still can't run 2 miles, then I need to reevaluate what I'm doing, if my goal is realistic, and modify my goals or my plan as necessary. And so um that's kind of the process. And so what we really need to do is take a minute and think what our actual goal is. Where do we want to be? And my entire goal of this podcast, speaking of which, is to learn how to adjust your mindset when it comes to being healthy, when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to everything, and reframe it into a more realistic how to be healthy, how to um, have a more wholesome life, how to think of it as more than just I need to get down to 160 pounds or whatever, and view it as more of a lifetime journey. Um, And so how do I do that? I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to, talk to people, read books, draw off my own experience, make a plan of where to go, and and see how, we end up. So, um, anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about to begin with is we need to set the foundation for where we're going to go. Um, you know, Going back to real weight loss and health. My goal isn't to be a certain weight, it's to be healthy. But I can measure that whether if I gain 45 pounds, um, that's opposite of what I want to do. You don't want to get down and then gain and go back and forth like we said. So, um, anyway, this is just the ramblings of someone who is not an expert yet. But I plan to be. And as I am learning and growing and everything, I'm going to try and share what I learn. And hopefully, we will all come out on the other side healthier, better, more knowledgeable, and um, we'll know how to help others and help ourselves. So anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you guys have a wonderful night and hope this week has been going well for you. Um, I will be back tomorrow with more, and then Monday we'll start over again, start the new week. So anyway, um, have a great evening. Talk to you soon.